So, what's your favorite memory here in White Swan High School?
That's a good question. I have a lot of good memories. I got a lot of bad memories. But, damn, I would want to say that my favorite memory would probably be probably my junior year of high school, because that was right before COVID. I think that COVID, because my senior year, that was the COVID year where we were just online the whole time and our graduation was outside and masks and all that. So I'd say my junior year, just my whole junior year, because that was life pre-COVID. So there was no worries, there was no thinking of a COVID-19 or a virus or like a world epidemic happening. So I'd say my junior year as a whole.
That's nice, yeah. Well, you got any favorite sports that you played here in White Swan High School?
Yeah, I loved every sport, but I would have to say that the most meaningful one for me was basketball. I learned a lot about myself. I had a good coach, Saul Ramble and Anthony Vargas when I was here, and just like my teammates and like the camaraderie and like the brotherhood because I still talk to my two bros, Kapkana Levitt and Teal Sornigal to this day. And so like, not even just outside of basketball, but basketball has brought a lot to my life instead of it just being a sport, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Did you make it to state by any chance?
Yeah, we had state appearances every year I was here, but we didn't place. So, I mean, I'm humble enough to admit that. We never placed, but the fact that I was able to do it with Teal and Cup, it just made it more memorable because those are my brothers. So, yeah.
You got any pointer tips for now basketball players here for White Swan High School?
Honestly, kind of just obviously working hard is one thing, but also just, being disciplined, especially when it comes to the classroom. I think for me, when I was here, I always prioritized my academics, and that's something that I think me and another student, Jermaine Bass, was able to do on my team, and so we're always like the team tutors in a way. And so it's like, if you're able to hold yourself accountable in the classroom, you can kind of do anything. It opens up a lot, especially as a student and a student athlete. So that'll probably be my advice to basketball players and just all athletes, because it's like once you prioritize your academics and make sure that your grades are good, like things are going to start opening up.
Any important tips on the court then?
I mean, just get all right, because I'm a football player, basketball player, and baseball player. So as a football player, I mean, again, they all just collide with just putting in the work, like putting in those unseen hours. Like every summer I was always with my dad, lifting and, just working on drills. So like, finding your community and finding your circle to work hard with and just being disciplined.
Makes sense. Well, how do you feel about being back here in White Swan High School after all those years being gone?
Dang, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like, I walk in here and I could smell the court and I could smell the bleachers, I could look up and I could see the American flag all saggy still, and there's some new stuff, but like it still looks the same. So for me, it's just like a home, it's like a homey feeling for me. Like, yeah, like this is home. Like this is where I was. My adolescent years, the most important years for a human, like as a young man anyway. So I've definitely missed it, especially this gym. I was in this gym a lot more than anything. So yeah.
Has much changed since you've been here? Like anything new you see here?
I'd say just like the school spirit. I think that was the one thing that Mrs. Sanchez was always trying to emphasize with us in my class. Always trying to make us do all that. Like all this is good. Like now entering career territory, just all this school spirit. It's good, but I was never able to, experience that and say, yeah, I want to make that. I want to make people, let it be known that, yeah, you're entering White Swan, so don't forget. So yeah, I'd say that.
Well, did your time in White Swan High School help you with acting in any way?
I'd like to give props to my dad, because when I was 14, when I was a freshman in high school, that was when my dad had asked me to be in a short film. He didn't even ask me. He just told me we're going to do a short film. I'm his son, so it's like, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? And so I did it. And so like we filmed it here. We filmed it a few places in Wapato, but majority of it was here and across the street and over at a Trading Post. Is it still called Trading Post?
Yeah.
Yeah, Trading Post. And so I would definitely say that my acting debut had started with Guardian Ancestor, short film by Ryan Craig and Res Hog Records. So, yeah.
It was nice meeting you, Devin.
Yeah, thanks. Nice meeting you too.
Chef Pachwai, Ignashnik Kira Swan. We're here with a star from Resball. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, Shikapachwa, Ignashnik Shapatunki, Devin Sampson-Craig. Hello, good day. I'm Devin Sampson-Craig.
Nice. So, what made you interested in auditioning for the movie?
So, I was studying for a midterm, right? I was
Yeah.
in Seattle, and then I didn't have social media at the time, but my dad had sent me a screenshot of like the auditioning calls on Instagram,
Yeah.
and so he like sent me a screenshot of that, and then I seen it, and I'm like thinking like, what the heck? Like I'm not gonna get it. Like I'm not gonna do it. Then he's just like, just do it, just try it, see what happens. And then I did it. I sent in my got my phone, turned it around, took my own headshot, sent in my bio and everything, and then I just got responded back to, and then they asked me to read some lines for Bryson, and I just kept getting responded back to, and eventually they invited me out there for like a Resball Invitational, like an in-person callback.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went to Albuquerque once. That went tremendously well because I kind of knew I already got the part once I was there, because I was obviously reading lines myself, but I was also reading lines for my position as Bryson and also Desba, so I was reading with like potential Desbas.
Yeah.
And so I kind of already knew I got the part, and then eventually they offered me the role like 2 days later when I got back home. So that's kind of how I got introduced to auditioning and everything.
That's cool. Shout out to your dad, I guess.
Yeah, shout out Ryan Craig.
Shout out Ryan Craig. So how do you think that your younger self would feel about you playing in the movie?
That's a good question. I think for a long time, I mean, just depending on how young I was, I mean, all the way up until like 7th grade, I didn't really know how short I was going to be.
Yeah.
And I bring up my height and my stature because I feel like in every movie I watch, I'm always drawn to someone that looks similar to me. And so playing Bryson Bedoni and being 5'8", like for me, if I was younger, I probably would have, been more drawn to him than anyone else in the movie. And so I feel like specifically seeing Bryson, it probably would have been like really like influential in my life, especially because I love watching movies and everything. So like sometimes, a movie will be my personality for the next, 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
Especially with music and stuff too. And so I feel like if I was to see this at a younger age, I'd probably be really proud and just, really have a more like impact on my, I guess, self-identity too. Just because, you're seeing someone that looks like you on the screen, and it's about Resball, it's about basketball, and it's about, coming from a community and stuff. So I feel like I'd feel ultimately good.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Did you meet any new people or cool people that casted?
I think, I did, but like, to some, it'd be a shock to meet, Praise, Amber Mid-Thunder. She played Desba.
Yeah.
Not to say like I wasn't, happy to meet her. It was cool. I said hi, like, oh, I'm glad you're Desba, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it was, I wasn't starstruck to meet anyone, but I was humble enough to be in their company. So, yeah, I would say that, yeah.
That's good. What gets you up in the morning?
School. Just kidding. What gets me up in the morning? Probably my purpose, like, I think even before Resball, before this platform I had, like, I got a little sister looking up to me. I have, an older sister looking up to me. Like, I have family and friends looking up to me. So I feel like for me, and considering, who I am as a human and what I've been through, I have a I have a responsibility to, you know, to put that image of myself and, you know, to be responsible and you know, just to carry myself in a good way where it's not only impactful but also contagious. So
Yeah.
I'd say that gets me up in the morning.
Definitely. Well, thank you for your time, Devin.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Kothanushimash.
Back to you.